Ronan and I are here for another Fireside chat.
It's actually our first Fireside chat, I think.
It might be our first Fireside chat, but we came in from the cold. It's brutal out there. And as you can see from the fire behind us, we're warming up. And just like we think the market's going to be in 2024. The real estate market, in case you didn't know, we're real estate agents. Ronan's been in the business for 35 years and I just started a couple of years ago. So what are your thoughts, Ronan, of where things are headed, where we're at? I want to attack the misinformation that's out there in the marketplace today. I want to talk about that a little bit. What are your thoughts?
So much going on in the last few months, last few years of interest rates. During the pandemic, you hear interest rates are super low. They're in the 2s and the 3s. And recently, everyone's like, interest rates are so high. But I just think there's a lot of rumors and misinformation. News that we've been hearing a lot is that the Fed is making some announcements right now that, first of all, they've already cut interest rates down quite a few times. In the last 5 weeks, it's trended down each week a little bit. Everyone is rooting for interest rates to drop, but if they drop too quickly and too drastically, that could create some craziness.
Very accurate. What does craziness mean? Or a frenzy, what does that look like?
So for instance, they were 8.25 just a few weeks ago, and now they're 6.75 around. So I think if they keep dropping, they get down into the 5s, even in the next few months. This is just a hypothetical. We don't know what's going to happen. I think that's going to backfire because then there's going to be 10 times as many buyers that re-enter the market again. So it's going to be too competitive. It'll be impossible to get a house. And then based on that, that's going to cause home prices to get even higher. Home prices are going to appreciate anyway and go higher,
right.
But that reactionary rise will be even higher if interest rates keep dipping quickly. So that's why I think a frenzy could be on the way if that's the trajectory we're seeing.
So what's going to happen is we're in a little bit of a lull at the moment for a number of reasons. One is the holidays, as we all know, and Santa Claus gets in the way and things get off track in our business because they're not out there looking for a house now when they're afraid snow is going to come. They know the credit card bills are going to come after Christmas, all this good stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're in a little bit of a lull that way. I think a seasonal affected lull. But the fact that the world hears about interest rates hitting 8.25 or 8.5, whatever they hit, they rarely hear that they drop back down to 6 3/4 right now, which is where they're at today. Now, we do believe they're going to come down lower, probably not over the holidays. It'll probably stabilize a little bit where it's at. Prior to the pandemic, because right now the inventory will increase in 2024 to about the pre-pandemic levels, we believe.
Right. Back
up around the 5.5 million, almost 6 million in sales. We're at 4.25 or going to be 4.5 million for the country this year. By the way, that was a very healthy time.
Yeah.
Markets were good, business was good. Then the pandemic came, caused these shortages, and with the shortages come the supply and demand issues.
And I think that goes along with when the government feels they need to get heavily involved and super reactionary. Unfortunately, that typically causes an imbalance in whatever's going on. A harsh drop or inflation getting raised, things like that can just lead to craziness.